Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm building a rock garden and I decided to make it a national park in the game. So the lot type is the national park, and yeah, I for that you only need like the three things I put here on the backside of the lot. And yeah, I decided on a garden because I remembered from my travels to Ireland that there's an old house called the Macross house, and they have a rock garden. And I just remembered that vacation I took there, and I thought it would be cool to make such a garden or park. So I decided to just do it. And at the moment, you can see me playing with the terrain tools of the game. And to be honest, it's quite difficult to get it to do what I actually want it to do. So it looks good and stuff, but I think I managed fine to make it look natural, but also like interesting. Because oftentimes, because everything else is so flat in the game, it often looks a little bit weird to have like a raised terrain anywhere. So sometimes it's difficult to make it blend in with the rest of the world. But I think I managed it fine here. And yeah, I put some stone benches down, um, and some other things already. Some of the trash cans, just to make sure that there's no litter in the garden, in the stone garden. And then I basically moved on to the debug menu and went through it. And whenever I thought, oh well, this looks interesting and great for a stone garden, so for example, some of those stones, then I placed it down. And I also put down some trees to cover the lot a little bit better, because I think, at least I remember, the stone garden in Makara's house was between trees. So yeah, I haven't looked at any of the pictures of the garden there, so it's based entirely on my inspiration, on my imagination, not inspiration. But yeah, the Macross House Stone Garden was the inspiration, so I just remembered it and I thought that's a cool concept. Let's do it. So I did, and yeah. So it's not like it looks anything like this, the stone garden there, but I just remembered that instance, and I did enjoy that vacation I took there to Ireland. It was like a round trip that I took, and it was really cool to look at all those sites. And at the moment, you can see me putting in some of those plants in that area. I just did it there, um, because otherwise I didn't want the whole lot to be with that vegetation. So I did some other plants and like low-lying bushes and stuff, to cover it. Like mostly those, because I really like them. They look wild, and they cover a lot of the ground. So I really like them for this reason, for this lot at least. For like normal residential lots, I don't think it's quite that appropriate to use them. But for this instance, because it's like a wild, natural stone garden, I think it's cool. And here you can see that I used all the stones. So there are quite a few stones in the debug menu that you can use. So of course I did that, and I went through everything and found the stones that were, well, appropriate. And yeah, most of them needed to be sized down because they're really large. So yeah, I couldn't use them in their original form because they would just be too large. And here you can see me put down some rocks to cover that area, so it blends in better with the environment. So it looks more natural if there's stones, and then it goes up. So I was really glad that those stones are in the debug menu and they are accessible to us. And yeah, I use them for that reason, to make it look a little bit more natural. And then on the front of the lot I also put toilet, because I think many of the lots need toilets, because otherwise that is the first need that goes down, and I hate having to leave because the sim has to go to the toilet. It's just really annoying. So I made sure that there's a toilet there. And then I also took that bridge to have access, in a sense, to that corner. I don't think the Sims can actually go back there over the bridge. I don't think they can use the bridge. I haven't tried it, but yeah, there are enough seats available. It's not that big of a deal if one of the benches isn't accessible to the Sims, I think, at least. And yeah, then I went through the debug menu again and filled some more of the empty corners of the lot with like bushes, and then I also made sure that it looks as natural as I could make it, with like bushes and trees. And I size them down often, so I use the same tree a lot, like this one, and I size it down to have it more natural. And then I noticed that bench was actually in the stone behind it, so I needed to move it, and then I covered the entrance there, or that part there, with some more rocks. And as you can see, I also placed those stones on the ground to make a pathway. I really like those stones. It was quite difficult to get them to lay flat on the terrain, because there's so many different heights on the terrain, so that was a little bit difficult, and I struggled a little bit. I cut out most of that struggle like way before now this point in the video. So yeah, I think there would have been a good while longer in the video if I didn't cut it out. I hadn't cut it out. Now I'm doing some terrain painting, some more stones in the grass, and also some dark terrain painting underneath the plants and stuff. And then I just made sure to fill in the lot with, like, that part of the lot with some more of the same plants. And then I also tried to make another stair there to make that stair accessible. I don't know if Sims could actually use that stair, but I think it's still fine. And then, so I meant with the stair, I don't know if they actually go up there, or use the other stairs. But I did smooth the terrain a little bit there, so maybe it will work. But I'm not sure. I tried, but with the stairs it was just not really possible. And then I covered the house, the toilet house, a little bit with some plants, just to make it look a little bit better from the front. So when I upload it to the gallery, it would have looked really, really boring without those plants there. Now you can see some screenshots of the build. You can download it from the gallery. My ID is TGGSims. I also hope that you liked the video and will consider pressing the thumbs up button and subscribing. Have a great week. Bye!